Retrenchment is the worst news an employee would want to receive. Now, one such person is Hesbon, who was laid off from a Kenyan parastatal after many years of service. Now, shocking as it may have been, Were embraced the transition for good. He went back to school at the age of 48 and even taught at a number of universities. And as Ray Polo reports, Were is now into chicken farming, a new assignment that sees him supply eggs in Kisumu and Uasin Gishu counties.
It is another new day of duty for 63-year-old Hesbon Were. His peers may be whiling away their time in retirement, but he is not stopping.
So I went to poultry farming, and I started with broiler farming because it would give you easy cash.
With the passion of a bee, he rises with the sun and picks up his farm tools to tend his gardens tucked away in Kiboswa village, Kisumu County. He then carefully flies to his birds. They know him, so they call him.
From broiler farming to layers, to improved kienyeji, and we're not complaining.
For more than a decade, Were has bred birds in their thousands, and they have in turn fed him.
At the end of the month, when you go to your church, you know you have a tithe to pay, you are comfortable because you are empowered.
He ran to the birds for rescue after losing a steady job in the year 2008. The parastatal was a giant at the time. Employees would not imagine a layoff.
I was employed under the permanent and pensionable terms, and this gave us a lot of comfort.
However, retrenchment knocked hard, and it fell on Were, among others.
We never thought that this employment would end before retirement. So it came as a surprise. You'll hear of a few cases here and there, somebody committing suicide because the money that he had got after retirement or after retrenchment, he invested somewhere and the money is run out. He's no longer having anything and he has got children in school.
Retrenchment presents a tough transition for anyone who has known a steady flow of income. But Hesbon Were embraced the change for good. Instead of giving up, he rose up and enrolled for further studies.
And the strongest support system that you require is the family. If the family supports you, then everything else will fall in place.
Fueled by strong family support, Were registered for a bachelor's degree program. It was another challenge he embraced with ambition.
I had now people who are young enough to be my children, actually, and they would look down upon you and say, "Hey, what are you doing here?" But I would come and then sit at the back of the class and concentrate. They make a lot of noise, but I had to get used to that. I had adjusted well. And somehow I gained respect from them because of my performance. When we do a cut, when we do an exam, I was always among the top.
He scored a first class in his Bachelor of Commerce course. That propelled him to enroll for a master's degree program in strategic management.
I started the PhD program. I'm still pursuing. And by God's grace, I know I will finish.
He says his investment in education has not been in vain.
I was surprised that it opened more opportunities for me. So I was teaching in at least 4 universities part-time.
Were has expanded chicken farming among other businesses.
You get something that occupies you the way the employment was occupying you.
He urges young people not to over-rely on employment opportunities that keep flying away.
Employment is a time that it will be there and there will be a time to exit. And while you are there, make the most of the opportunity that God has given you there. For example, some employers would give you some loans. There are those internal loans that you can have. Develop a dwelling place. That is very, very, very important, because just imagine yourself, you have retired and you are still going to pay rent. You will not be able.
He has a word for senior citizens as well.
When you look at your children that you want to depend on them when you retire, it can give you a mental breakdown, because they also have their lives to lead, and maybe with the hard economic times, they will not even have anything to spare for you. So you need to look at how you can sustain yourself without bothering them. In fact, they will love you if you don't bother them.
Hesbon Were keeps busy at his farm and sells eggs in Kisumu and Eldoret towns. When he's not with the birds, he serves at his Anglican church as a lay reader. He has also found passion to woo young people out of drug abuse. For now, he hides away in his green farm, taking one day at a time.
Life is just like a book made of chapters. People retire from employment, but they don't retire from life. And as I said, it is never over until God says it is over.
He believes he was retrenched for good. Ray Polo, Citizen TV.